And I'm live. That is pretty cool. Today is 29th of January 2026, Friday. And with that, let's begin. And that is sent from Arrakis. My bad. Shit, my screen got stuck. Yep, now it is cool. Yep, and we are going to give a virtual contest. This one was yesterday. Let's virtual participate. As a single human being, 29 is the current time. Let's give it 31. 31. That is for individual participation. Yep, 1 minute to go. Neuron is almost ready. Date and synchronize. Ooh, 40 seconds. And this will begin. And I hope that the screen doesn't get stuck. And I think it won't. Yep, seems good here. Okay. Some water. Okay. Sure, why am I slow? You are given an integer and n integer, a single integer n. Construct a permutation p of the length n, satisfying the following condition. Permutation p is the name of the permutation, n is the length. Modulus of the difference of the current element in the permutation, and the next one is divisible by I, the index, for every I n minus 1. It can be proven that such a permutation always exists under, okay, such a permutation always exists. Difference, it is difference, difference must be divisible by the index 1, 2, 3, 4. Difference, so whatever the number is, and we are not going to the last one. So let's say it is till 5. The difference between this and this can be anything. The difference between the last one and this one must be a multiple of 4, which is only one number in this range, which is 4. So this must be 5 and this must be 1. Now difference of this and this should be divisible by 3. 1, we have 1 here, and multiples of 3 in this range is just 3. So 3, 4 must be here, and the only remaining numbers are 3 and 2. If we put 2 here, it works. If we put 3 here, it does not work. So 2 and then 3. Okay, so it works here, right? So one thing is final, that we will use the last number here and 1 here always. But then before that, okay, if we write them down like this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we are taking difference of 1 and 5 here, then between 1 and 4 here, and then between 2 and 4 here, and then between 2 and 3. So is this a pattern? If it is, then the next one would be 3, 3, and then we will end. If this is a pattern, and then let's say for n equals 7, 1, 7, 1, 6 to 6 to 5 to 6 to 5 and 3 5. One number is increasing, one is decreasing. 3 5 and then 3 4 and the next one will be 4 4. So yes, this is a pattern, and I think we, how do we write this thing in the array? In the array which has 7 places, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, seventh place we put 7 here, 1 here, then 6. We have two variables, then 6, and instead of 1 we'll put 2 2 5 3 4. Here difference is 6, here the difference is 6, here the difference is 5 4 3 2 1. So we have, okay, we have two variables. One is this, one is this, one is decreasing and the other is increasing, and we are switching between them alternatingly, and I think this will work. Uh, and do we only get n? Yes, we only get n. X equals 1 and y equals n, or n rest size to 1 and n, and for n I equals 0, I smaller than n, I plus plus. Answer vector size, and I want to go from the end. Yes, because I don't know how, yeah, pattern makes sense from the end, so we'll go from the end. So this would be n minus 1, I greater than equal to 0, I minus and bool b equals false, and if b if b, then we want the bigger number. So res b equals, no, not res b equals a, uh, answer I equals res b, and b equals not b, and if b, then res b minus else res b plus and then for it I equals 0, I small n I plus plus, C out, answer I space new line, I equals n minus 1. That should work. That does not work. We get 2, and because this time comes later. Uh, this this is also correct. There is no problem with this one. Will this work? Yes, this should. Depending on b, we are just putting answer I equals b from the end, and if b was true, which means we were at this second value, we want to decrease it, and if b was false, then we want to, yes, we want to subtract it. We want to increase the value after changing. Okay, and let's also test this for one test case 7. Yes, correct, correct, this is correct. 4352617, 4352617. That did take some time. Yes, it should. That did take some time. And submitted. Cool. That took 8 minutes, around 9 minutes. Accepted. Cool. And now the next problem. Problem. Seat. Cordell manages a row of n seats. A row, row of n seats at the, okay, where students are strictly forbidden from sitting next to each other. Okay, n seats. Okay. You are given a binary string s where si equals indicate that the ith seat has been occupied by a student and 0 indicates that it is free now. It is guaranteed that no two adjacent seats are occupied currently. Cordell needs to add more students until it is impossible to seat anyone else in the row. However, she wants to achieve this state with as few, wants to add more students until it is impossible to seat anyone else in the row. However, she wants to achieve this state with as few students as possible. Okay, your task is to calculate the minimum total number of students seated when it is impossible to seat anyone else in the row. For, and what is the minimum value of n? Minimum value of n is 1. When n equals 1, answer is 1. When n equals 2, answer is 1. When n equals 3, answer is 1. When n equals 4, we have 4 seats. We will have to seat 2 students. So answer would be 2. The maximum range this singular thing can have. Divide the whole answer by 3, lower limit, upper limit. N by 3 is the answer, upper limit. N equals 4, answer is 2. N equals 5. 1 student here, 1 here. Yes, answer is 2. N equals 6. 1 student here, 1 student not here, but here. Answer 6. N equals 8, or for not 6, but for, let's say for 8. Answer should be 3. 1 student here, 1 here, and then 1 here. Answer is 3. And then for 9, we can add 1 more seat here. Yes, answer is cool. We can do this. Wait, we already have seats. 1 student here, 1 student here, 2, and 1 student here, 5. Okay, we already have some students, so we have to take them also into consideration. String s and in response already. What the response is, s dot count. Why don't we have the count method in a string? No one that named Okay, count as dot begin and as dot end count the number of times that we see one. Let's see, are we getting the correct count for them? Uh, yes, we are getting the correct count. Now, int L equals 0, R equals 0, R smaller than N, uh, L equals R, while R is smaller than N, and S R equals S L into R plus plus. Now, if S L is 0, that is now we have a range of 0. Point size equals R minus L. We can just R minus L minus 2 and the rest plus equals SZ plus 2 divided by C. C out. This should be correct. This should be correct. It is not correct. Here we say 1 and here we say 0. Why do we say 0 in the first place? Because of this, but because this has to be plus, not minus 2. Because we want upper limit and minus 2 does not even make sense. Okay, shit. Okay, there has to be minus 2 and there also has to be plus 2. Wait, do we need minus 2 or do we need plus 2? This is the normal size. Okay, we are doing plus 2. So here we require minus 2. If L equals 0, then we do not have any ones on the left, then sz minus minus, and if R equals N, then sz minus 1. Shit, this should have worked. Not equal to, not equal to 2. Is this correct? Yes, we are taking for all the ranges of zeros. If our current range of 0 that we have right now, if it begins at the start, that is, we do not have any ones on the left. If it does not begin on the start, that is, we do have one left on one on the left, then then one of those zeros is being taken care of by that one. And if we are not on the right, that means if our right edge is not at the right end of the array, then we also have one on the right. That means 1 0 is being taken care of by that one. And now we are looking at how many minimum number of zeros or ones we need to make all of this range of zeros that we are currently at. Like for example, this range, we will not consider this 0 because this 0 is being taken care of by this one. So in this range, what is the minimum number of students that we need to put up to make anyone else not able to sit on them? That would be, if n is our range of zeros, then answer is n divided by 3 upper limit. Why? Because one student can at max take care of 3 seats. If one student is here, that student will take care of this seat and this seat. No one will sit there. So yeah, divide by 3. Hopefully this is correct. Do we need some long or anything? No, no, we don't need any long or anything like that. This should work. Or maybe Codeforces will mess up. Shit, that is actually a little bit crazy. Screen I am giving as well. Shit, okay. Shit, contest didn't start. Okay. You haven't seen anything then. Okay. Till now, you're also giving the contest. That is pretty cool. Shit, till now I did problem number one. Now I'm doing problem number two. Okay. I guess we will never know. Did you do problem number one? Shit, what even was problem number one? I just did it. A binary array, a division. One of these problem is table with numbers, social experiment, new year string, middle with a haystack, divisibility permutation. Yes, this one you need to find your pattern. And for problem number B, you just have to, like, yeah, problem number B requires maths. And this contest is shit, Codeforces is down. Nothing we can do. Actually, this is very bad. Official round. We are not taking part in official round, so these websites won't work for us. Is your contest working? I guess no, yours won't be working. Would not be working either. Neither. Server is down. Log in. That is sad. I haven't even seen problem number three, so cannot even theorize about the solution. Okay, let's instead give lead code contest. I have never given lead code contest, so let's do that. If this does not work out in like 5 minutes, or yeah, let's just give lead code contest. How do we start the contest? Contest literally says contest. Okay, so lead code, we have contest every Sunday, one contest every Sunday. This was on 25th June, the last January, the last contest. And Neil Wu, American, this and this. These two people don't have a country. Virtual, participate in virtual, earn scores and rankings without impacting your official profile. Start. Ready to go. Okay, do we join? Let's see. Yes, we will join now. How is the interface? Welcome to 486 Lead Code Weekly Contest. This Lead Code contest is sponsored by Lead Code. Crazy. Contests ranked contestants ranked 1 to 3rd will be Lead Code backpack, shit, water bottle, or these are very specific ranks. These are actually, is there a pattern to these? 1024, that is a power of 2. There must be a pattern to this. Important notes: to provide a better contest and ensure fairness, we listen to lead coders' feedback and put in lots of thoughts behind the update contest rule. Please check out new rules, actions, problem list, which this is 4, 4, 5, 6. I think these might be the points that we will get. Is yours working? Shit, okay. Screen is stuck again. Something happened. This happens sometimes because I do not have enough storage, but I do have enough storage. It should be working out, but it is not. And also Codeforces still out of commission. We'll just give lead code, which is also not working. Now cool. Question number one. Problem number one. Question number minimum prefix removal. Uh, you are given an integer array nums. You need to remove exactly one prefix, possibly empty, from nums. Return an integer denoting the minimum length of the removed prefix such that the remaining array is strictly increasing. The minimum length of removed prefix, and we have been given an integer array equal nums dot shit. The controls for Vim in LeetCode are a bit different. And I equals n minus 1, I greater than 0, I minus minus. If we have if this current number has to be strictly increasing, if I understand the problem correctly, then here the prefix that we will remove is this. Removing the prefix this, so what do we have to return? Output 4. Return an integer denoting the minimum length of the prefix. Okay. Int I from I if a not a if nums I is smaller is strictly greater than the current number is smaller than or equal to nums I minus 1, then the previous number, then rest equals, we'll keep I but we will remove everything else, and yes, return. Is it submitted? Okay, it is. Codeforces is also not working still. Okay, problem number 2, you are given an integer array A. Same problem. You are given an integer array A. Wait, is the screen? Yes, screen is working. It is not stuck. Don't open problem page. This happens. Open home page. They have some issues on problem page. It will happen. Okay, I started lead code contest. Home page is also not working. Crazy stuff with Codeforces. Okay, rotate. You are given an integer array nums and an integer array nums, one array and a one number k. Rotate only the non-negative elements of the array. Rotate only the non-negative elements of the array to left by k positions in a cyclic manner. All negative elements must stay in their original position and must not move after rotating. Place the non-negative elements back into the array left in the new order, filling only the positions that originally contained non-negative values and skipping all negative positions. Return the resulting array. Okay. Vector of integer positive for int I equals 0. I is smaller than index is actually not required. So for int x in k in nums, if x greater than 0, non-negative also includes 0, then pos dot positive dot push back. Yes, controls for Vim are a bit different here. Now we need to push all of them to the left by some amount. Rotate. How do we do rotation? We have our original array A. Let's say it has like 4 elements, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we want to rotate this to the left by 1. So what would be the new index? Index of this thing originally is, let's say, 3, which it actually is, and if we want to rotate this to the left by 1 amount, the new index for this would be 2, for this would be 1, for this would be 0, and for this would be minus 1. Minus 1 minus 1 modulus n modulus 4 is equal to 3, or minus 1 plus 4 modulus 4 is 3. Okay, and if we had like our rotation k, if k were greater than the length, if k were, let's say, 5, then this 4 would go here, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, it would come back, 5, it would go here, which, and the original index was 3, and if we do minus 5, which is minus 2 plus 4 modulus 4, that gives us 2, which actually is the correct index. 4 would end up here, and the index is 4, so that is cool. And we can make this a bit better by like optimize this. We can optimize this a bit, but this is fine. This is fine for now. For int I equals 0, I is smaller than for size I plus plus, and we might get some error because password size is not integer. Here also we might get some error, maybe. Controls are different. Here we know that the current index is I, the new index rotated, new index is I minus k modulus constant size here. So instead of this, and here also say n and modulus n, I minus k modulus n. Now we have to put all of them back into the original array and return that array for int reference x in nums if x greater than equal to 0, and also int I equals, if x greater than equal to 0, we will say x equals cos I plus plus. Yes, and then we have to output numbers for int I. One, yes, we can just run runtime error adoption of unsigned. Yes, at some point we messed up. Line 1000, at line 1000 we messed up. Addition of unsigned offset to this. Overflow is crazy, actually. The logic is correct, but something else is not. Uh, And how about code forces? Still no shit. Screen is stuck. Okay, I will definitely fix this. But normally it happens like that if we open a problem and I click the problem option where the list of options is shown, the reload page comes, then I open home page and it works. But right now it is like messed up, totally messed up. Cannot be redeemed. Yes. This has to do with something peculiar. Mm, yes. Uh, leadcode.cpp. Copy all this. Copy, paste, and vector. Let's say include bits. There is no error, like no syntax error or anything. There has to be something else. Error runtime addition of something nums int pos correct x of numbers. If x greater than equal to 0, push it back into positive. N equals pos dot size. I equals shit. I submitted by mistake. My bad. What is this continuous variable? Un addition of unsigned offset to this thing, but vector problem has to do something with the vector. This is okay. We should not change anything in the nums vector and uh, do the changes in some other vector. Copy constructor. That was not the problem. And also screen. Nope, screen is not stuck. Wait, which problem are you referring to? I thought of like making the array of positive values and shifting and then placing the values in the, yes, exactly what I have done. Yes, I had the same thought. Wait, so you also give lead code contests. That is cool. I didn't know. But the problem is now runtime error. Why runtime error? Copy all this. Main space. What is nums? That is a very good question. Let's see. Vector in nums is exactly one of the things that they have given here. This one copy paste and in k is so it's yeah. Res, you ask what is res? Why do we not have any res here? We should, yes, because that is from before. Res equals res equals num and compile and run, and okay, we do have a runtime error. This dot size included vector h vector w. Okay, we are getting help. We are still getting help, so that is good enough. Are we still getting help? We are not getting help, so error is in here. I equals 0, I'm correct rotated. No, this should be I minus. Okay, so if we have C out minus 1, a remainder with 2, what will be? Uh, we get minus 1. K, which is wrong. How to get remainder in C plus plus with negative value. Modulus? No, we do not want modulus. Where B is not equal to 0 into B plus. Yes. Euclidean mod. Shit. So we have to write our own mod function because this is giving us uh, a mod which is not very cool. We'll call this MODD x y, and if x is negative smaller than 0, then what we'll do is x plus equals absolute x divided by y. So this is minus 1 and this is 2. plus 1 just in case. This whole thing into y, and this whole thing into y, and return x mod y. I think this should work. Mod I minus k with n. Okay, we are getting do we have the right answer? Wrong answer. Shit. 3. Yes, this should be the expected behavior. Why do we have this? Modulus is 0, 1, 1 minus 1 minus 3 is minus 2, and then here in our mod function, screen is a okay. I will fix this. I will fix this today. Yes, I thought this will like fix everything. Screen is stuck. Hello, hello. Um, that is a lot of shouting. Yep, do not spam. Uh, X equals to rotated I. No. Uh, yes, this is like obviously wrong. And X equals rotated I. No, if X is positive, only then we do not want to change value of the negative one, negative ones. Yes, if X is positive, only then. Yeah. Shit. Okay. Yes, my bad. And how was this even working till now? Use test case. Like, how did this pass 203 test cases? This is crazy. How do I remove some test case? I want to use this one. Yes, I do have this one. And the answer is correct. Cool. That took longer than it should have. Okay, on to the next problem. Problem C. And Codeforces still not responding. Okay. Yesterday was nightmare. I mean, yeah, Codeforces is not working. You are given an integer, and for yesterday's question, problem number 1, you just have to find out the pattern. And for problem number 2, I would say is easier than problem number 1. For problem number 2, you just have to realize little something. Okay. You are given an integer n and an undirected tree with n nodes numbered from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, 0 indexed tree nodes. The tree is represented by 2D array edges of length n minus 1. We have an edge list indicates undirected edge between ui and vi. Okay, and nodes are numbered. from 0 to n minus 1, you are also given the three distinct integers, target nodes x, y, and z for any node u in the tree. Let dx be the distance of u from x in y and from z dz. The node u is called special if three distances form a Pythagoras triplet. Return an integer denoting the number of special nodes in the tree. That is a good question. That is a good problem. Yes, is this. Okay, the distance between two nodes in the tree is the number of edges between them. Number of edges in the unique path between them, and since we have a tree, there are only unique paths. We can do DFS three times, one time from X, then from Y, and from Z, and we will keep track of every node's distance from X, Y, and Z, and then we will go through all the nodes except X, Y, and Z, and since we already have their distances from X, Y, and Z, we will check if it is a Pythagoras triplet or not, and we will increment our counter. That seems reasonable. Include bits. This one needs a number. We will have three vectors, vector int dx size would be and n equals edges dot y is n. A problem n we already have, and n is an integer. We already have n. Why have they given us n? I think because they want this to be compatible with languages like C and the stuff like that. And the screen is stuck. I'll just, yeah, today we'll have to make do. Be not easier. It depends on whether you think in the right way. If you went different direction, it can, yes, it can take a lot of time. You just have to realize that that thing that, like, for the whole problem, like no matter what it is, you do not have a big problem, you have multiple small problems like this. And if you know how to solve a problem where you only have zeros and you have multiple problems, and you know how to solve a simple problem, then everything is okay. And here size n and dx dy size n and dz size n. Initially every size is whatever it is, and vector of boolean visited dfs take index of the node and shit. For dfs we have to convert this edges to an adjacency matrix, n And what does an edge look like? Edge looks like this. It's comma y or L R in auto E in edges, and we will say in the adjacency matrix the thing at 0 is has a connection to E1 and vice versa. Okay, we have our adjacency matrix. So now we can do DFS. DFS takes in the index, and this will also take in vector bool visited and also distance, and this will say distance to get to for in x everything that is connected to I visited I if if not visited, yeah, I if I has not been visited, we'll say that I has been visited. Mhm. We'll say that I has been visited, and the distance to get to not I but x, we are talking about x here. Distance to x is distance to I. Distance to x is distance to I plus 1, and we have updated visited, we have updated distance, and now we have to call dfx on x, pass in adj, pass in visited, pass in distance, and cool call dfs when is call in dfs, and here we will say yes, we need distance, which we already have here. Dx for x equals 0, and dfs from x, this is the adjacency list which is common for all visited, and dx nothing is visited initially. Okay, now instead of x, y, starting from y, substitute z with z, but also after this visited dot clear. What does clear do? We want to fill. Let's use fill dot. Display dot begin, and wait, is the screen stuck? Screen is stuck. Okay. What is your approach? Solved B for wait for Codeforces or for lead code? For Codeforces, my approach for B is that if you have a simple array of zeros, let's say there are n zeros, then your answer is going to be n divided by 3 upper limit, because a single student can only take care of at maximum 3 seats. Like if a student is sitting here and no one else will sit here and no one else will sit here and no one of course will sit here on this seat that the student is occupying, therefore he can take care of these seats of 3 seats, and for the next seat we need another student, and we are taking upper limit because even if there is one seat or two left seats, we need one student to fill them. So then if we know how to solve a problem when we have a bunch of zeros, after that we can look at the main problem, the original problem, where we have some ones sprinkled around, and here we see that there are ranges of zeros. Here we will see, in a range we will look at the left and on the right. If we have 1 on the left, if we have a 1 on the left, we will remove this 0 because this is being taken care of this one. So our range on the left for this specific segment has been reduced by 1, and on the right also we have one more 1, so we can remove this, and our range here also has shifted. And here we have to find the minimum number of students required for a segment of 3 zeros, which is 1, because 3 divided by 3 is 1. And here our original range is of size 3. On the left we have 1, so we can remove 1, and on the right we do not have a 1, so we have 2 elements in total, and 2 divided by 3 is equal to 1 when we are taking upper limit, not always. And for this one we only had one thing, and on the left we do not have anything, on the right we have one thing. We remove this, and answer would be 0 by 3, which is 0. So answer for this particular case would be 2. I think this will work. I don't know because Codeforces is not allowing to submit, and I want to decode. Vi how to make all the elements vector equal to 0. Yeah, equal to 0. So fill. That is in C++. No, reassign. Assign. Yes, we can use assign. We can actually use assign. Fill is good. Memset for primitive fill. Yeah, we'll use fill. Again, and so you have all the distances here. Visited x, dx and y. Okay, we have visited x, distance is 0. Run dfs and fill dx. Now empty visited. Alright, and fill dy, and then empty visited again, and say that x z has been visited. And yep, and now for int I equals I smaller than equal to n, I smaller than n minus 1, I plus plus just smaller than n. And if I is not equal to x, and I is not equal to y, and I is not equal to z, and also now if we have a equals square of distance from dx I into dx I into b equals d. It's long. Yeah, let's use long just in case. And instead of x, here we should have y, here we should have z. Here Y, here Z. Right. A, B, and C. And we, if A, B, and C, okay, let's make it so that C is the biggest one among all of them. Right. If C is smaller than B, then swap C comma B. And if C smaller than A, then swap C comma A. Now C is the biggest one, and if these are Pythagoras triplets, then if A into B, A plus B equals C rest plus plus. I think that is good. And that, okay, that I think is correct. Wrong answer. Expected 3. Output is 0, but they expected 3. 3 out of 4. 1 is okay. How is answer 3? We have node 0, node 1, node 2, and then node 3, node 0 has a connection to all of them. Right. So node 0 is not the correct thing. But for node 1, one of the distance is 0, the other one is 2, and the other one is also 2. Shit, 2 square plus 2 square. Cool. Okay, so we just have to remove this. Use test case. Okay, correct answer. And then the fourth problem, which is the hardest. Let's see. And Codeforces is still not working. No response, and my screen is stuck. Yes, I'll definitely fix this today. My bad. Sorry. Hmm. How? But whenever three thing is same, but mine is without upper limit. What do you mean without upper limit? But I think mine is simpler to implement. Yours is without upper limit. Hmm. I don't get what you mean by that. Upper limit. And hard. Shit. Wait, there were tags. This one was medium and number 1 and 2. One was medium, and now hard. Okay. 6 points. You are given two positive integers n and k. Return an integer denoting the nth smallest positive integer that is exactly k ones in its binary representation. It is guaranteed that the answer is strictly less than 2 power 50. Integer has exactly k ones. That is it difficult? No. For k equals some number, let's say 5, the smallest integer that has 5 ones would be 1 2 3 4 5, and the next one, let's say there are zeros. The next one would be 0 1 1 2 3 4, and the next one smallest. And this was not the smallest, this was not the smallest. The next smallest would be, to remove this one, the next smallest would be 1 0. No, then there would not be any space in the middle. Next one would be 1 2 3 4 4 5 and then 0. Yes, we introduce a 0 here, and okay, so this number is twice of this, which I think we could have avoided if we moved just this one there. Yes, it's shit. So yes, 3 4 5 0 0. We move this 0 here and move this one here, and we have 0 1 0 1 2 3 4. Then the next smallest, yes, then the next smallest would just be to move this one here. Yes, 0 1 1. Okay, and let's solve this for n3 and k. So for k, this is k, for k equals 1, and the screen is again stuck. Shit, I will definitely fix this. Yes, and this is like upper limit. Shit, that okay, makes sense. Upper limit. So 2y 3 equals to 1. You can do this by like, if you want x by 3 and you want the upper limit of this thing, you can just do x plus 3 minus 1, which is 2 divided by 3, and this will give you like normal division in C++. This will give you the upper limit. So if you had 2 here, 2 plus 2 would become 4, and this would give you 1. So yes, cool, this works. And how would you do this without upper limit? I don't get that part. Screen is now not stuck, unstuck. For k equals this and n equals 3, for n equals 1, and we do have, what is the maximum value of k? Maximum value of k is 50, and okay, that is messed up. All of them have different rates of motion, it seems. If n equals, okay, smallest is 1. This moves to the left. For n equals, for 1 we have this, then for 2 we have 1 0, then for 3 we have 1 0 0. 1 0 0. Okay, and if k equals 2, k equals 2, smallest is 1 1. For smallest we have 1 1. For second smallest we have, this one moves to the left, so let's say we had 3 zeros, now 2 0, 1 0 1. Then for the third, 0 0 1 1 0, both of them moved to the left. Then for the fourth we have 1, we have 0 1 0 1 0. Then for the fifth one we have 0 1 1 0. Then for the sixth one we have 1 0 1 0. Then for the seventh one we have 1 1 0 0. Okay, k equals 2 at 3 and at 5 and at 7. At 3 it moved, there should be 2 zeros here, 2 zeros and then 3 zeros here. So at 3 we had 1 extra 0 here, at 5 we had 2 extra zeros, and at 7 we had 3 extra zeros at an interval of k, and at 1 we had 1 extra 0 at an interval of k, and this is our n value. N divided by k, upper limit, gives us how many zeros there are, no, lower limit gives us how many zeros there are going to be on the left, and not just this, n minus 1 divided by k, n minus 1 divided by k, n minus 1 divided by k, n minus 1 divided by k. And if k had been equal to 4, let's say, then according to our formula for n minus 1 divided by k, for if you want on the right 2 zeros, let's say, then according to our formula we have 4 here, you want this to be 2, what is the minimum number? Oh, not what the not the minimum, 9. 9 minus 1, 8 divided by 4 gives us 2. So at n equals 9 we will have 2 zeros on the right. So for n1 smallest, 1 2 3 4, for 2 0 1 1 1 2 3, for 3 0 1 1 0 1 1, for 4 0 1 1 1 0 1, and for 5 0 1 1 1 1 and 0. And for 6 we want 2 zeros, so at 9 this should work, 1 0 1 2 3 0. And for 7, screen is stuck. I will definitely fix this today. 1 1 0 1 1 0. And for 8 we have 1 1 1 0 1 0. And for 9 we have 1 1 1 1 0 0, 2 zeros. Okay, and what was the answer for this one, the one before this? Okay, shit, our formula is wrong. It will not work. Formula is wrong. It will not work. Okay, Codeforces is finally working. Enter. I had a virtual contest going on. Okay, Codeforces does not seem to remember. Should I think Codeforces remembers there is a virtual contest. Standings. Yep, it seems like so. No. Okay, this is division 1, my bad. this one division 2 and standings. Yes, my standing, and no, I am, this is division 1. This is division 2 standings. Contest is going on. Friends standings. Me is here. Let's let me submit my solution. Share undefined void on the top. Let me submit my solution for uh, problem number B. Which I believe to be right, could be wrong. Okay. Running on test 1. Accepted. Cool. And now problem number C. Yes, screen is not stuck. Oh, you were saying lead. This is my like first contest in lead code. I have not given any lead code contests before this. But today is Friday. Yes, so day after tomorrow will be Sunday. Then I will give a lead code contest. And let me charge my phone. Now there are two choices. Either I give this one or problem number C from this contest. This is cool. Let's see. Let's see. Yo. Wait, why does he have so much? Okay, because of wrong submission. 50 plus 50. I think wrong submission is plus 50 penalty. So yes. Look at this. He submitted, my friend, he submitted this problem before me, even though he took like just 8 more minutes in this one, but because of the wrong submission, his penalty is like way higher than mine. So yeah, that is crazy. Okay, you cannot see, so yes, makes sense. Here, and this is my friend, undefined void. He submitted this problem before me, like by 17 minutes, and this one he took 8 more minutes than I did, but that is like, so in total I took more time to solve these problems than he did. And because, so I, he should be at top, but I am at top because my penalty is lower. Why? Because he gave wrong submission. So wrong submission gives a lot of negative, lot of penalty, so that is not, so yeah, the point is do not submit wrong. This one was virtual. Yes, his was also virtual. I think because of this, we can say that this is virtual. Wait, maybe. Okay, it is not you. Stuck. Now it is fine. Is there a lag also? Okay, let me, I will first do this. Lead code problem. This one, this looks cool. Okay, I messed up. When k equals 2, let's say for n equals 1, we have 1 1. For n equals 2, we have 1 0. 1 for n equals 3, we have 1 1 0, and then for n equals 4, we move this towards left and we have 0 0 1. Right, so this was at position 0 at its original position, then its position changed by 1 in just like one move, and then it took to move to change its position, and then for then for 5 1 0 1 0 6 1 1 0 0, and then 7 1 0 0 0 1. Now it took this thing 3 moves. 1 2 3, right? And if we had k equals 3, 1 2 3 for n1, for n2 1 0 1 1, for n3 1 1 0 1, for n4 1 1 1 0, for n5 1 0 0 0, no, 1 0 0 1. Okay, phone is not charging. The screen is not stuck. And hello. Wait, who? Yeah, some stupid guy. No idea who. Where are you from? I'm from Meerut. If that is like doxing. Dox. Wrong spelling. S- Some some unknown random guy. Okay, focus completely on this one. This is a good problem, and I think if I think about this, I can find out the answer. This is similar to if you have watched hide home screen home feed, Halloumi, Hanoi, 3 blue, 1 brown. Yes, 3 blue, 1 brown also talks about something like this. Something like this. I don't know how it relates, but I feel like in these stuck. No kidding, I have a cousin named Chetendra. Shit, have we met before? Shit, okay, this is not your cousin. Like, I am not your cousin. Or I don't think I have a cousin named Sandeep Singh. Maybe I do. Maybe I just don't know. Hmm. Yes, the video that I was showing is this one: 3 blue, 1 brown, Hanoi Tower. These two videos. I feel like somehow these two videos relate to this problem right here, but I cannot say how, but they do somehow, and there is some update notification. Can we carefully find out the position of all of these things at the nth thing, at the nth? think we can. I think we can. I think we can. Okay. Uh, yes, I think we can. 6, here we will have 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 7, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, and screen is not stuck. I'm just getting PTSD. I'm from Haryana. By the way, are you a student? Yes, me student. And shit, there was Supreme Court case from Haryana where two people converted into Buddhism, and they said, give us reservation now because now we are in minority. And the judge like laughed at them, and then yeah, they were doing some fraud. This is some combination type shit. I feel like three ones, zeros, zero zeros, then three ones, combination. Okay, combination. There are maybe the position. I'm thinking like this. Here, it took this thing just one move to come here, and then it stayed there for 3 more turns, and then I think it will take it 6 moves to move one more block, and I think we can do this for individual bit. I think we can calculate its position. I think we can calculate its position. See, now it will be 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, and then 9, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 10, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, and then in 11 we will have 1, 0, 11th 1, 0, here this 0 is this at this place, 0, 0, 1, 1. So at first this thing moved by just like one move, and then it is stayed here for 3 more turns, and then it is stayed there longer, 6 more turns. And if we look at from this person's perspective, this is very strange. First it was 3, then it became 2, then 1, and then I think it will be 2 again, because then we will have this. So something is strange. I have to go to the washroom. I will be right back in just 1 minute. 1 minute. And I'm back. Screen is not stuck. And okay, what is the pattern? Okay, the pattern is like this. Mm, that whatever our current sequence is, whatever it is, whatever our one is, yes, not stuck. Though I just randomly saw your stream, but it would be really helpful if you could provide me some tips regarding where to start coding. As a beginner, I will soon be starting college and I wish to pursue CSE. The best thing you can do is CS50. This is a free course by Harvard American College, and this is free, and this is very good. This is very good for a beginner. You can go there and register to this course. This is free on YouTube, and this is also very good. This will challenge you. I would like to receive email from Harvard X. No, you can do this one. Uh, Introduction to computer science, and yep, this is what I also did. You can also do this if you want, and this is also my recommendation. It's not sponsored, of course. Audit course. I would have to sign in. Yeah. Yep. You can do this. It is cool. And here the pattern is we will look at the rightmost zero, and if there is a one to its right, we swap their places, and if there is anything towards the right, if there are any ones, they will go to right. But since we are saying that this is the rightmost zero, yes, okay, for the highest bit, for the highest bit, we can tell where it will be after n turns. We can do that. We can do that. We can do that. We just have to figure out in which range this thing is. This thing is. We will have a counter. Let's say Cn, which will be equal to 0, and let's say our initial position is k, and let's say initial position is p equals k, and this position just tells how many things are to the right. So initially this would be k minus 1, because initially for this highest bit, since there are in total k bits, there are going to be k minus 1 bits on the right. So there are initially p things, and counter, and we will also have a, no, a counter, and we will also have we have 1 plus k, 1 plus k, yes, k is 3, 1 plus k, 1 plus k plus 2k plus 3k plus dot dot dot. We want to find out at which term. Answer for this is k minus, or like let's say x, then if adding this makes our range, makes our sum, this thing, greater than n, then answer would be x plus 1. And if we adding this makes the sum, adding 2k makes our sum, like sum, by sum I mean this sum, greater than or equal to n, our sum. And if we were to remove this, then our sum would be smaller than n. At such a place, our answer, if initially was x, would be x plus 2, right? And this is gp. So nth term an, if equals 1 into k power n minus 1, which is correct. So Sn, I think, would be k power n minus 1 divided by k minus 1, and sum of the. Okay, it is. For finite series of n terms, the sum is this, where r is not equal to 1. R is not equal to 1. For infinite series also. Let's try this formula. When k equals 3, so in the bottom we have 2, and at above for n equals 1 we have, for n equals 1, 1, 3, 2, 1. Correct. 1. The next term 1, 3, 6, 9. Next sum should be 4, then sum should be 10, and then 19. Let's see. For n equals 2 we have 3 square 2, which is, yeah, yes, 9. 9 minus 1, 8. 8 by 2, 8 by 2, 4. Correct. And for 3, 3 cube, 27, minus 1, 26 divided by 2, 27 minus 1 divided by 2 is 13, which is not the right answer. Right answer is 10. Yes, because r is not equal to 3, r is 2. Yes, r is 2 and not k. Makes sense. So our sum, okay, so we have to split this series. Yep, we have to split the series. The sum that we are looking for is 1 plus 2k, 1 plus k plus 2k, and shit, screen has been stuck for a very long time. My bad. Thanks so much, man. I feel like I just found a diamond in the rough just by coincidence regarding names. Yeah, yeah, this course is a diamond in the rough. Yeah, this course is actually pretty cool. Plus 3k plus 4k plus 5k. We can split this series into two. One part could be this, and this part is GP where R equals 2. So we can have our sum as 1, which we are always adding due to some reason, and yes, which we will always add. And for this GP initial value k, then 2 power n minus 1, because if this is the second term when we are considering the whole series, but if we are only considering these things with k, then this is the first term, right? And we do not have a 2 here, we just have a k minus 1, n minus 1, minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1, which is just 1. So sum would be 1 plus k power 2 n minus 1 minus 1. That is our sum. So this is increasing at a rate of power, like by 2 power something. This is increasing by 2 power, yes, exponentially. This is increasing exponentially. Whenever we increase n, we increase our answer exponentially. So like this, okay, like this. And our task is to find out n for which, let's say our task is to find out n dash for which, if we find out the sum for n dash, it is going to be smaller than, okay, I used n at two places, so that is not a very good thing, but it is going to be smaller than this n here. We can call this n capital N, so it is going to be capital N. And if we do sm n plus 1, then this would be like this, and this has to do something with the answer. Major sacrifice. This is a good problem. This is actually a good problem. This will give us 6 points. Okay, and there is only 4 minutes left. Yes, not a lot of time left. How can I add this to some review or something? Code editor, go to your code editor and choose Vim, like obvious choice. Yeah, we will look at this at some point. This is a cool problem because right now we also have this contest running. We have 2 contests running. Let's Okay, let's move on to problem number C of this one. Okay, restricted sorting. Okay, and also water. Screen is not stuck. Cool. Problem is short. You are given an array A of length n for an integer k. We will call it piggy if and only if it is possible to sort A into non-descending order by performing the following operations. You are given an array A of n of length n for an integer k. We can call it piggy. The array, we can call the array piggy if and only if it is possible to sort A into non-descending, that is increasing order, ascending order, by performing the following operations in arbitrary number of times, possibly 0. First, select two indices I, j such that their difference is greater than equal to k, then swap them. You need to determine the largest piggy integer k such that an integer does not, if such an integer does not exist, then -1. I think such an integer would always exist because we can choose k to be 1. Why do we have k equals? Choose two indices, swap ai and aj. The difference modulus difference is greater than equal to k. Why does the answer first? If and only if to sort an array. If and only if to sort a in non-descending order, in ascending order, and performing the following operations. First select this, then solve this. You need to determine the largest case. Okay, question does not make sense. What is it even asking in the first test case? And second, no matter how large k is, you can always sort a in ascending order by not performing any operations. Okay, we have to give a k so that they will not be able to make a choice. And the largest k, here they said 2. Yes, here they said 2. We want to put this here where a difference is 1, where the difference is 1. If and only if it is possible to sort a by ordering, to sort a in non-descending order by ordering order by performing the following operations an arbitrary number of times. Okay, this question is not written like, screen is now fine. This question is problem is not written in a way that is making sense. You need to determine the largest piggy integer k, and k gives us the ability to swap indices, right? And we call it piggy if and only if it is possible to sort a by performing the following operation an arbitrary number of times. Possibly 0. 0 is also a possibility. So do they want us not to sort this array, or do they want to sort us this array? Sacrifice the number of inversions. The largest. This is in correct order. This is in wrong order, and everything else is in correct order. For 2, everything is in correct order. For 5, 4 and 3 are out of order. For 4, 5 is only thing that is out of order, and also 3 is out of order, and the largest difference is 2. Here the largest difference is 3, is that why we have taken 3, but here also the largest non-descending, ascending, these are already in ascending order. This does not make sense. Like, what are they trying to ask? In the third test case, largest big integer is k. We can select I equals 2 and j equals 3 in the first operation, since this equals 4, which is greater than or equal to k, and a is sorted in descending order. It can be proven that no big integer larger than k exists. Okay, we must, if and only if, we must perform at least one operation. It seems we must have to do at least one operation. If the list is already not sort, screen is not stuck, cool. If the list is already not in ascending order, then we will move and segment trees. Segment trees. Segment trees. Okay, I think, okay, so for each index, for each element, we will look at what is the smallest integer on the left and what is the biggest integer on the left, and same on the right. And for the smallest and the biggest integer on the left for each integer. And for the left, if the biggest integer is greater, so for the left we will only look at the biggest integer. So for here the biggest integer is 2. If this biggest integer is greater than this number, that means they are out of order. We want them to be in ascending order, but they are not. If a bigger number is here than this number, then they are out of order. Then we will take their difference. Here we will not take the difference because 2 is the greatest, which is smaller than 5. And we will do this. We just have to do this. We just have to do this. We do not have to look at the look into right, because in right we would be looking for a smaller number. If the smallest number on the right is smaller than our number, then we will take the difference. But we could say that when we are at that smallest number and we were looking on the left and we were looking at the biggest number, we would see that number and we will take the biggest difference. Yes, I think we got this. I think we got this. And we don't need segment trees. We don't need segment trees because we do not want to get the minimal smallest number in some random range. We just want smallest number from the start for everything. N, okay, and then N, and reference X, A, C next, and if is sorted A dot and A dot is sorted, then minus 1 else. Yes. Pref size N plus 1. Pref 0 equals, because we are taking prefix max. Yes. And then pref I plus 1 equals minimum of AI or pref I. Yes, and here we will have pref I is the minimum of range beginning from the 0th element and not going till the ith element. Ith element is not included, but the first element is included. Yes. Or we don't even need any of this. Int n equals a0. And next difference is maximum difference is 0, and then for int I equals 1, I smaller than n, I plus plus, we'll take the maximum element, not minimum but maximum, and then maximum difference maximum of maximum difference. And how about the screen is stuck. Maximum difference and the current if AI is out of order, if AI, the element to the right, is smaller than maximum number that we have seen on the left, then mxd equals maximum output response. And wrong answer. Cool. Minus one. 0, 1, 0 is clearly wrong, and screen is somehow again stuck. I will definitely have to fix this. Maybe because of the RAM usage. Brave browser is using quite a bit. OBS is using quite a bit of RAM. Why is Brave using like multiple RAMs somehow? Okay, and again the screen is stuck. That is very horrible. Here, uh, yes, we are getting 0 for the third case. This one, for this one we are getting 0. Why? Maximum 1, 4. We should be getting 2. Max is 0. The current element is smaller than the maximum element. Not stuck. Cool. So when we are here, the maximum element would be 4, and we will see that the current element is smaller than the maximum element. Maximum of mxt or mx minus ai. Mx is 4, ai is 2, so this should be 2, and res should become equal to 2. One, one, one is clearly wrong. Yes, because mx is not being updated. Shit. Mx mx equals maximum of mx or ai. Now we will not get the right answer. Okay, here we said 4, but the actual answer is not 4. The actual answer is 3, which is correct. Actual answer is 3. Answer is 3 for the last one. 1 and 4 are out of order. No, they are not out of order. We want this one to swap places with the 4. We want the 5 to swap places with the 4. For yes. Okay, what is the minimum thing that we must have? Minimum. The minimum difference between any two elements, I think. If we can swap two elements, we can always swap any of them. The minimum difference between any two elements. Nope. Using an intermediate element, right? We can make everything work using an intermediate element. Yep. Screen is again stuck. Using an intermediate, like in the last case, in the sixth, no, it is just n that is 6. In the fifth test case, we can use 1 to swap any two values. And they must be out of order. The largest n, if n was 4, they are saying we won't be able to do this because 4 is out of place, and we can 3. Makes sense. Makes for every number that is out of order, for every number that is out of order, we also have to see with which element we are swapping, this element that we are looking at. Okay, yes, makes sense. Restricted string, standings not very good. 8,000. Yep, I've used quite a bit of my brain. Yep. We did, yes, screen is visible. We did 2 problems from this contest, problem 1 and 2, and 3 problems from the lead code contest. So 5 problems in total. That is quite a bit of problems. And yep, screen also gets keeps getting stuck. And so there are two problems that I would like to review tomorrow. One is this restricted, save to list, review, and the lead code problem. And yep, for today this would be the end of the stream, and thank you for being here. We did 5 problems today. That is cool.